In 1972, at the age of 7, I met a man whom I had no clue would have such an impact on my life. This man was small statured and slim, about 5 feet 5 to 7 inches tall, poised and direct. He walked with his head up high and strides with purpose. He wore knit shirts, bell-bottom pants, and platform shoes. You hardly ever saw him without a ruler or a yardstick in his hand. Wood, by the way. This is how he literally ruled his classroom. This man was Mr. James Perkins, my second grade teacher. In 1970, Mr. Perkins was recruited to the Rochester City School District in New York State through a project called Project Unique. The program was developed to attract Black American teachers to the Rochester City School District. Mr. Perkins became the second grade teacher initially, and then a few years later, the third grade teacher at George Mather Forbes School No. 4. He taught there for 30 years, which showed his dedication not only to the job, but to the children whom he had charge of for a few hours a day, 5 days a week. Mr. Perkins' claim to fame was the nationally known dance and drama troupe, which he founded and directed, the Black Seeds. The troupe was formed to get children to become more interested in reading and enhance reading skills. But he also gave an outlet for expression through dance and verbal citations. One of the crowning moments for the Black Seeds and Mr. Perkins was when they performed at the inauguration of Jimmy Carter for the presidency. He expected the best from every child according to the best of the child's ability. Several members of the troupe over the years went on to college and became responsible, successful leaders in their own respective communities. Mr. Perkins had a way of instilling in a child that they were more than what was seen in the mirror. He would address us as young lady and young man. Our clothes had to fit properly, our hair had to be combed neatly, we had to sit up straight and walk tall. We even had to write in cursive on college ruled paper because it looked neater and professional. He taught us for any engagement we had to be at least 15 minutes early. Either it was for school, for work, or for a job interview. Mr. Perkins was preparing a bunch of 7-year-olds for a task that would later become second nature. He exposed us not only to Black culture, but to the culture of life in America. If we couldn't see it in person, he showed it to us in film. Most importantly, he taught us to respect ourselves and each other. That was Mr. Perkins, my second grade teacher. He's gone now. He passed away June 17, 2011. The Black Seeds, past and present, performed at his memorial service in Rochester. He left behind a legacy. Not too many people knew how much he cared for his groups of 7-year-olds. Those who needed clothes or food to eat, he graciously gave. No questions asked. He was a father to those who didn't have one, and a second father to those of us who did. The next time you look at your children, address them as young man, young lady, and tell them, hold your head up high and walk tall because you are more than what you see in the mirror. Then I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I respect you, and I know that you can be the best that you can be. Then remember you heard about a man, small statured, who wore bell-bottom pants and carried a ruler in his hand. Mr. Perkins, my second grade teacher.